Really look forward to giving you an update. Last year we were here explaining what we're doing in the Cranbrook area of British Columbia. We trade on the TSX-V under the symbol PJX. This is a forward-looking statement that things I say may or may not come to fruition. So what's the opportunity? What we've done is we've consolidated about 700 square kilometers of land in the Sullivan Mining District. And over the last couple of years, or 10 years or so, we've been identifying gold as well as base metal targets. We discovered something in 2023, late in the year, which were boulders of Sullivan-style mineralization. The Sullivan was a 160 million ton deposit, 17 million tons of zinc and lead metal, as well as 250 million ounces of silver. But it also produced germanium, cadmium, indium, a bunch of other metals which we need today. So this discovery we had was by prospectors. This is the Cranbrook area. And you can see down here, this is Cranbrook, Kimberley, Sullivan Mine here. All these colored areas you see here are properties that we own, 700 square kilometers. The discovery we made is on this property, the Dooney Trail, and where that red dot is. All the red dots are base metal targets, zinc, lead, silver, copper, and the yellow are gold predominantly. This is Sean Kennedy, the prospector that made the discovery right on surface. You can see the size of the boulder, it's angular. There's the other half of it here. It's in this talus slope at the bottom of the slope. Never been found before. People have been looking for this style of mineralization for 130 years. These were grades that we showed you last year from the 10 boulders. There were about 60 boulders in total that they found. Retired chemical geologists have told us that these grades and style of mineralization are identical to the Sullivan. You can have somebody that's worked at the Sullivan walk into a room and they see these boulders and they say, that's Sullivan ore. Where did you get it? This is an example of one of them. You can see the sedimentary nature of these. It's disjointed. That's soft sediment deformation. Really good grades. Here's another one. Notice how they're different. This one's still sedimentary features, disjointed, probably soft sediment deformation, but it's different from the other one. These are all strongly magnetic. Here, this one's interesting because it has these clasts in it. So it's not bedded. These are clasts that were probably blasted out of a vent or something into a sulfide matrix. These are pure sphalerite. So you're looking at things that are like 40% zinc. So somewhere in this horizon or somewhere on the property, we have beds of probably sphalerite, pure sphalerite, pergolina, just like you see at the Sullivan. The Sullivan was a stacked deposit, multiple beds. This one here is a bit of a So you have sphalerite, zinc mineralization cutting through here. That's cut across by this Cretaceous to Eocene dike. That dike material is all around where we're finding these boulders, so we're really close to source, we believe. This was from outcrop. Later in the year, in 23, they found this. And this is beautiful sphalerite, zinc mineralization, cutting through here. We figured this is a pretty simple program. We have boulders at the bottom of a slope. We have to go and drill and hit this mineralization. Our first couple of drill holes really surprised us. We ended up hitting this. Beautiful breccia, 29 meters, copper, iron sulfides. You might not be able to read it, but that was 2.4 meters of 4.82% copper, but the overall 29 meters was 0.5% copper, plus silver. This is a classic vent breccia that you get in these types of environments. So we have the right rocks, but we didn't hit those boulders. We didn't hit the source of the boulders. So what are we looking at? This is a simple model. It's standard. You've got the ocean floor here and a major fault where the ocean floor is collapsing. And you get this breccia forming in that collapsing along the fault. And you have fluids coming up this breccia, fault breccia. This is a feeder pipe to make this sulfide type deposit here, which would be like the Sullivan, or replacement type deposits you see here. There's an historical vein, mine there called the Estella, and it's a vein, a lead, zinc, silver vein. It was mined in the 50s and 60s. Nobody's ever done anything else with it. So that vein could be similar to this vein here, which would be at the stem winder. We think that's what it's doing. So it's part of the venting, the feeder system to these types of deposits. This rock that we took out of outcrop, turns out It's a massive block of sediment that has collapsed into this breccia. Rather than being sediment like this, the block was falling off and it's in the breccia, so it would be about there. This breccia, with all this mineralization in it, this vent, would be like this, coming up here. So now we have the boulders at surface that are good lead, zinc, silver, and other metals, including cadmium, indium, even some germanium. And we have this environment, which has all the characteristics you need for a Sullivan-type SEDEX deposit. In these SEDEX deposits, you get zonation in the mineralization. Where you have the venting environment, which is this environment here, you get more chalcopyrite copper and pyrrhotite iron on top, or adjacent to it and in the system. The actual zinc and lead, this sphalerite and galena, were first in the system to come up. It's in a cooler part of the environment. When you're getting the copper and pyrrhotite, the theory is that you're getting a hotter part of the system, and it's driving the lead and zinc away. So we're drilling in this area right here. We need to be drilling in this area and this area. That's where the boulders would likely come from. So where is that on our system? Here, you can see this boulder here. This is part from the talus. Now you're looking northeast. The Estella mine is right here. The boulders are found right here in this talus at the bottom of this slope. Here's the road coming in here for the Estella mine. So we can drive right to it. The road is only 200 meters from the boulders. This outcrop that has the chaotic breccia with this sulfide mineralization in it is right up here. So our plan, of course, and this is the magnetic anomaly. These are very strongly magnetic. Huge magnetic anomaly. It keeps going too. This is 1.6 kilometers, but it still goes. So it's a pretty simple program. Step uphill, drill down through this. We're bound to hit it. We didn't. We hit that breccia. This breccia here, right in here. So then we drilled also underneath the Estella vein, right in here. And we drilled out here, and we hit more of that chaotic breccia. So we know we're in the venting system. So where do we have to go? Well, like we said, we have to get away from this central vent and move out into this area here and this area here. This area up here is where the Kootenai King horizon is. We weren't able to get to it because we didn't get our permit till the middle of July last year. And we were able to drill through August, September, October, but the snow took us out. What we have to do is actually have staging here to pump water to the top. So we want to drill this next year. We want to drill these targets here. Now, why are these? Because when we drilled this hole, not only did we hit that vent with the mineralization in it, we also hit bedded massive sulfides. Very different looking than the boulders. Still had copper, zinc, lead, but lower grade. So there's a horizon in here that on strike would come into this area. And down here, if you come to our booth after, I'll show you, we hit a mineralized section there, 8 meters, and another one 10 meters. And one of the massive sulfide beds in there looks very similar to the boulders. Now, how can that be that it looks like similar to the boulders when it's down beneath the Estella here, and the boulders are up here? Well, if you go on strike, it would take you up into here, and this is the top of the basin where the Alpine Cirque was. So it's possible they weathered it out of there and dropped them there. Why do we think we have a big mineralized system? Not only have we got about 400 or 500 meters of stratigraphy that have mineralization we've intersected, which tells us it's a long-lived system. So it's been plumbing, and then plumbing again, and plumbing more. But we also have a system that's very large in extent, lateral extent. So all our drilling is right here. There's where the boulders are. Here's where the outcrop is. That's the Estella mine. So you're looking at about 14 kilometers from there to there. This is soil zinc anomaly. So the red is, or pink is 99%, that's 98%, 96 percentile. So all of these colored dots show you a large zinc anomaly in the soil. And it goes for 3 kilometers from here all the way up. This is lead. This is silver, copper, and gold. So we have a multi-element coincident geochemical anomaly in soils for kilometers. We have boulders with mineralization in this typical grade and style to the Sullivan. We've now drilled and intersected the vent breccia, the chaotic breccia that they see at the Sullivan, the same style of mineralization. So we believe that we're very close to the source. And our plan is simple. This year we're going to go in and we're going to drill those target areas initially and see if we make the discovery. Our capital structure, you can see here, 174 million shares outstanding, warrants 43, options 17. We have 2.5 million in the bank, no debt. If everything's taken down, we'd have 18.3 million. So I'll leave it at that. So everyone can come and visit us, hopefully, during the drink and with a drink, and we can explain more to you. Thank you very much.